Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here with the cutting but still rather rusty edge of Rust development, with some potential new things like planes and bandit races, plus what to expect in the next patch as far as I know. But first, this week is another hack week, which, as you may know, means the team at Facepunch are released from their hoods and cuffs for a few days to work on whatever they fancy, and we get to find out which plugins they've decided to poach. I mean, which features they would really like to add to the game. And this time round, there are some quality of life ideas that I think you might actually like to see, with first up, Jared working on box sorting, which to be honest, I'm surprised wasn't added a long time ago. At the moment, he's testing it on a large wooden box with a storage adapter needed for it to work, but there would be an option to toggle it on or off and a separate button that can be buttoned at any time to do a sort of the contents. There are also a load of other options about exactly how Sir would like his items sorted, including reversing the order of the sorting, organising things by stack size rather than alphabetically, sorting by condition so that the best items can be at the top, or at the bottom depending on what you want, sorting by category, and a custom sorting option which would take a snapshot of how you currently have the box organised and then apply that whenever you like. There would be an auto sort toggle which would automatically sort items as they're added, and as for the alphabetical option, there would be a language choice too, so you could sort your Francois from your Jean-Claudes or your Hamadas from your Matsumotos. Car radios are another project being worked on, with all three cockpit types being catered for and a work-in-progress model that would sit proudly on the dash, although earlier tests show it's part of it. It would work like a normal boombox, not require any power, but only work when the car is on, and cassette functionality may be visited later on, I guess, if it gets the green light. Planes and colour blindness next, but first. Hey, you! Had enough of being owned? Want to be an owner instead? Of a server, that is. Being Lord and Master of your own Rust Island feels so good. Bend the world to your every whim, build whatever you want, wherever you want it, spy on the inhabitants and indulge in as much admin abuse as you can handle. Such power. I mean responsibility, because obviously you're a responsible person. Maybe you want to get into Rust's ever-expanding cinematic capabilities, or slap a whitelist on and just play with your friends. Well, Pine Hosting has what you need. They make it so easy to install a high-performance server in just a few minutes, load whatever plugins you want with a click, and control everything with the meanest, cleanest console you've ever seen. Got a server with another provider? They will personally help you move over, with affordable prices, server locations around the world, and any casted DDoS protection, which gives you the best possible ping, making your server rank higher, and many other games supported besides. There's never been a better time to get your own server, and the best part right now is you can get an extra 30% off with code SHADOWFRAX. What are you waiting for? Back to the video, and remember that scrap plane that was being worked on in a hack week of times past? Well, it's being revisited again, which means it's still up in the air, so to speak. And there are a load of commits surrounding getting it to work, including mouse input for pitch and roll and keys for yaw. I've seen a plane requested many times, and plugins to make it happen of course, but I'm not sure, apart from completeness, why you'd want to add a plane to Rust and what advantage it would have over a heli, unless you could equip it with bombs or something. Plus you've got the extra takeoff and landing space requirements to think of, which would make visits to the oil rig a ball ache. But what do you think? Let me know below. Arabic language support might be coming if this project gets the okay, which would be handy if that's your favourite language. There's a Rust Edit branch being worked on, which would be an internal set of tools for trailer and media production, and would enable the team to generate maps procedurally with a certain set of monuments and features, such as just an outpost and no rail network, or a map with only caves and no other points of interest on it. The good news is that these options could be exposed for server owners to specify in the world config settings too. There are a couple of projects aimed at optimization, including the Optimize Statics branch and the Derp Clean, which I believe is aimed at cleaning up code to make everything more sensible and smooth. Hopefully we find out more on the effects of these later. Flavian's working on some new lights, including fairy lights, a deployable spotlight, and industrial fluorescent lights. And Jared's doing a lot of work on the accessibility front, including adding a section in the options menu to adjust colours of all sorts of stuff for those with colour blindness. This would include text colours, health, hunger and hydration bars, building block visuals, and as shown here, even tree hit markers. There's also the possibility of outlines on HUD elements to make them more visible in snowy environments, and the ability to change the colours of mushrooms without having to eat them first. And lastly, Bill is working on something called the Bandit King race, which I surmise from the commits would be a one-on-one race against the Bandit King himself, who apparently would have his own throne and would race you along a number of presumably procedurally generated checkpoints. Of course, these are all Hacweek projects and would need to be greenlit first before getting added, so are therefore all subject to change. But which do you think are most needed, or which would you like to see most? Let me know in the comments, please. In other actual work this week, there's more stuff going on with wallpaper and the new digital clock I/O entity, which will allow you to set alarms as well, and both of these are slated to be added in September's patch. There's a new convar for server owners, global disable clouds to disable clouds, for those who like nothing but blue skies, I guess. Wolf AI is getting a lot of attention, including finally a wolf howl and coordinated attacks. Oh, great. And there's this commit that popped up regarding CCTV voice chat. Not sure when this is happening, but to clarify, this apparently means being able to eavesdrop on what people are saying in voice chat through CCTV feeds at monuments and player deployed ones. It would be cool if you could broadcast voice chat through CCTV cameras too, but maybe that could be something for the future. Or maybe a rusty Ring doorbell, like this concept on Reddit from a couple of years ago. But what do you think of the idea? I reckon it's a no-brainer, especially if it had a fisheye lens on it. Don't forget, Twitch drops are live up until the 19th of August with a selection of generic and streamer drops, as you can see here. And looking further afield towards October, that of course is going to be the big world update with new cliffs, new underwater dive sites, a new old rad town monument, and some unique environments including canyons, lakes, and an oasis, as you can see here, along with the map size requirements for spawning. Well, that's it for this week, and you are now up to date. But please leave a like and tell me your deepest thoughts down below. Feel free to join me elsewhere, such as Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and my Steam group. Links are below. You can support this channel here with YouTube memberships and Patreon too. I shall catch you all soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio. And the ability to change the colours of mushrooms without having to eat them first.